My name is Bo Miller, and my major is Discover Business. My conversation partner's name is Travis Markley. He attended both Cincinnati and Butler University, and he currently lives in Indianapolis, Indiana. The major we discussed was finance. I chose Mr. Markley because he is the most successful person in the finance field that I was able to discover. He also had a unique journey of getting to where he was today. I found him from a suggestion from one of my roommates who knew someone who also knew him. I immediately got his information and we began to communicate. So some of the questions I asked my conversation partner was, the first one was, what's the best and worst class that you took in college? His responses was, the best class I took was a course in project management. While the course material was focused on project management principles, the professor was able to translate it to me in real life scenarios and dove into the emotional intelligence side of working with different personalities. It required a lot of learning to collaborate with classmates, as well as required us to work with companies in the real world. The next question I asked him was, tell me about your professional career path and how you ended up with your current position. To this question he answered, my career path, like many, took several twists and turns. I worked in technology sales, commercial real estate, technology consulting, and financial services. My path to my current position was a result of three things. 1, always searching for what made me proud and what made me feel good about the work I did. 2, not having a predetermined path and getting too headstrong on the defined path. Sometimes opportunities aren't what you expected, and you have to be willing to take a leap of faith. 3, never settle for good enough. Being content and grateful are a must, but always strive to be better tomorrow than you were yesterday. Life is a never-ending learning process. Be willing to soak up the knowledge, and sometimes the best way to do that are through mistakes. And the next question I asked was, approximately how many hours do you work each day, and what is a typical day? He said, this varies from day to day, but I average 50 to 60 hours per week. A typical day for me is filled with meetings and phone calls, but no 2 days are ever alike, which keeps it fun and exciting. Depending on the day, I may be in asset and liability management meeting that lasts a few hours, or dealing with human resource issues, or out meeting with community members and our business partners. It is a very dynamic position that requires the ability to adapt on the fly and really prioritize your time. Then finally I asked, what hurdles and obstacles have you overcome in your position? To this he answered, there are hurdles and obstacles at every turn of life, but those are what help you grow. In my current position, we had to overcome drastic operational changes during COVID, the recent and rapid rise in interest rates, and pressures on our liquidity position, just to name a few. So basically I asked these questions because I thought they would give me the best basis for how to move forward in my future and what to look for and what to not look for, and just set me up in the best possible way with as much information as possible for me being interested in possibly going into the career of finance as a Discover Business major. So in terms of internships, I gained a little bit of insight. One of his stronger pieces of advice was that the internship is not going to be given to you. It is your job to go out and network and meet different people, so that you can make sure that you have an internship lined up. And he said 9 times out of 10 that internships usually do end up in some kind of job offer, or maybe some kind of advice from the employer for another job that might be available. So he said that internships are very important, and that they were a major foundation for how he got to where he was today. And he said, while you may not like your first internship, usually by your last one, you're happy with where you're at. So I thought that was great advice from him. Some of the main insights that I learned were, find something that I know that I would be passionate about. He was big on finding something that you could get up every day to go to work and do what you need to do. He stresses how important things now, people have jobs that they're not very happy with, and it results in not so much of a happy life. So he stressed that a lot, and just to be patient and keep searching for the job you want. Obviously money is nice, but doing something you love is so much more important and less stressful, and it definitely leads to a more successful life. He actually did throw in a quote from Simon Sinek. It says, working hard for something we don't care about is called stress. Working hard for something we love is called passion, which I thought was really insightful. After completing this interview process, I feel definitely that my interest for finance has definitely gotten stronger, just based on the fact that he answered most of my questions that I needed to be answered, and also threw in some things that I thought were very good advice for the future, for not just pursuing something like finance. But definitely in terms of finance, I feel like it got stronger just based on the advice he gave me.